Good morning and welcome to StoryTime. Let's get ready for a finger play before we start our stories. And it goes like this. I have 10 little fingers and they all belong to me. I can make them do things. Would you like to see? I can shut them tight or open them wide. I can put them together and I can make them hide. I can make them jump high. I can make them hide low. And I can fold them up quietly and sit just so. Great job, yes. And here we have the Book Hog by Greg Pizzoli. Take 2. There's the Book Hog. The Book Hog loved books. That's a lot of books. And he had quite a few. He loved the way they smelled and the way the pages felt in his hooves. He especially liked the ones with pictures. He picked them up here and there, anywhere he could find them. But the Book Hog had a secret. Shh, a big secret. He didn't know how to read. He never learned. He was surrounded by books, but the Book Hog couldn't read a single one. The Book Hog went to bed every night without a bedtime story. Oh, poor Book Hog. One morning, he went out looking for more books. I wonder what this building could be. He came to a long, low building and he smelled some books inside. He snuck through the stacks, adding several books to his pile, but then a soft voice said, "Would you like to join us for story time?" Where do you think he is? The grocery store. No, the library. It was Miss Olive, the librarian. Pick out a book and I'll read it with you. The Book Hog blinked, then he swallowed. You'll read a book with me? Of course, said Miss Olive. As many as you'd like. This gave the Book Hog an idea. Wait here, he said. He went home and he came back with some books. Just a few.
There's a few.
Miss Olive led story time and the Book Hog listened closely. He heard many stories, some funny, some sad, some kind of in between. Over time and with practice, the Book Hog learned to read on his own. Oh, good. Yay! Except for maybe the sign that says slow. They look mad at him. He probably shouldn't read and drive.
That's dangerous.
He's very dangerous. He grew to love books even more, not just for the way they looked and felt, but for the stories they told. And yes, the Book Hog still takes a lot of books. Woo. But he always brings them back to the library. The end. And next we have Lisa.
Hello
Hello, my friends. Today we're going to read Click Clack Moo, Cows That Type by Doreen Cronin. So, Click Clack Moo, Cows That Type. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click clack moo, click clack moo, click clickety clack moo. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible! Click clack moo, click clack moo, clickety clack moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Uh-oh, looks like they wrote a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. It was bad enough that the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets. No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. The next day, he got another note. Uh-oh. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. Uh-oh. Closed. No milk. No eggs. No eggs! Cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike. Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Uh-oh. Well, Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. Whack, 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 whack. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. Can you understand moo? I know I can't. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. Look at them with their blankets. They look all snug and cozy. The next morning, he got a note. Uh-oh. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, whack. Click, clack, whack. Clickety, clack, whack. Looks like they got their diving board. The end. Oh, those silly farm animals. But all right, next we have Angel.
Hello. We are going to pause the reading and do a song. Now this is kind of a cool version of a song we all know called The Wheels on the Bus. Now, here we go.
The wheels on the bus go round and round. Ooh, yeah. The wheels on the bus go round and round. The wheels on the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round. They go round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. They go to your town. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. They go. Gonna take a bus ride. Gonna take a bus ride. Gonna take a bus ride. Just get on the bus, gotta get on the bus. We're gonna take a bus ride. Come on, let's gotta get on the bus. Gonna take a bus ride. Come on, ooh, tell me about the monkey. The monkey on the bus goes. The monkey on the bus goes.
Rockin' version of The Wheels on the Bus by Big Daddy Jam. All right, our story today is also big. It's called, excuse me, it is called A Mother for Choco by Kaiko Kaza. Choco was a little bird who lived all alone. He wished he had a mother, but who could his mother be? One day he set off to find her. First, Choco met Mrs. Giraffe. "Oh, Mrs. Giraffe," he cried, "you are yellow, just like me. Are you my mother?" "I'm sorry," sighed Mrs. Giraffe, "but I don't have wings like you." Next, Choco met Mrs. Penguin. "Oh, Mrs. Penguin," he cried, "you have wings just like me. Are you my mother?" "I'm sorry," sighed Mrs. Penguin, "but I don't have big round cheeks like you." Oh. Then Choco met Mrs. Walrus. "Oh, Mrs. Walrus," he cried, "you have big round cheeks just like me. Are you my mother?" "Now look," grumped Mrs. Walrus, "I don't have striped feet like you, so don't bother me." No matter where Choco searched, he couldn't find a mother who looked just like him. When Choco saw Mrs. Bear picking apples, he knew she couldn't be his mother. Mrs. Bear didn't look like him at all. Choco was so sad, he started to cry. Mommy, I need a mommy. Mrs. Bear came running to see what was the matter. As she listened to Choco's story, she sighed. "Oh dear, if you had a mommy, what would she do?" "Oh, I'm sure she would hold me," sobbed Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and she held Choco very tight. "Yes, and I'm sure that she would kiss me too," said Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and she lifted Choco and gave him a big kiss. "Yes, and I'm sure that she would sing and dance with me to cheer me up," said Choco. "Like this?" asked Mrs. Bear, and they sang and danced together. When they stopped to rest, Mrs. Bear turned to Choco and said, "Choco, maybe I could be your mother." "You?" Choco cried. "But you aren't yellow, and you don't have wings or big round cheeks or striped feet like me." "Oh my goodness," said Mrs. Bear. "That would make me look very funny." Choco thought it was funny too. "Well," said Mrs. Bear, "my other children are waiting for me at home. Why don't you join us for apple pie, Choco?" Apple pie sounded wonderful to Choco, so off they went. When they arrived, Mrs. Bear's other children rushed out to greet her. "Choco," said Mrs. Bear, "meet Hippie, Allie, and Piggy. I'm their mother too." The sweet smell of apple pie and the sound of laughter soon filled Mrs. Bear's home. After their delicious treat, Mrs. Bear gave all her children a big, warm bear hug. And Choco was very happy that his new mommy looked just the way she did. Next up is Lorene.
Thank you. Hello. Today I'm going to be reading I Broke My Butt by Don McMillan, illustrated by Ross Kinnaird. I crashed my bike. I sat with a splat. I broke my butt. My butt has gone flat. I need to fix it, not a minute to lose. I head right on home with the broken butt blues. Calamity, catastrophe, a terrible blow. My butt bits fall on the floor below. A disaster, it's true. What can I do? I have an idea. I'll get some glue. I see a tray up there on its shelf, a tray to work on while I fix myself. I take all the butt pieces from under the sink. I glue them together, pink shapes to pink. Round bits to round bits, flat bits to fit, and victory, triumph, my butt is intact. I don't mind at all that it still has a crack. With the pieces together, my butt looks like new, but to put my butt back, I'll need great globs of glue. I'm steady, I'm ready. I press my butt on. I look in the mirror and something is wrong. There's a terrible problem, a problem that's new. My butt is glued on, but the tray is glued too. I twist and I pull, I tug with my might. I wriggle, I jiggle, but the glue's holding tight. I think a butt with a tray is not a good sight. Am I destined to have a butt with a tray? How can I dress shaped in this way? Ah, I have an idea. I see, it's quite clear. I need to snip my pants back here at the rear. Cut out the back to let the tray through. A fantastic solution and easy to do, but my parents are looking. They may not be kind. Perhaps they like trays. Maybe they won't mind. Nope, my mom wants to fix it, to give it a trim. Dad has an idea, but don't leave it to him, because my new butt is perfect for sliding in mud or in snow. I have a built-in sled ready to go. Great for sand dunes. I have a blast. I eat lots of beans to make me go fast. Perfect for winning at paintball, you see, and surfing big waves. No wipeouts for me. Hill sliding, too. I didn't see the tree crash. I've broken my butt. What have I done? The tray has come off. The tray was such fun. I sit and I think, I wonder, and then I go straight back home and I glue it again, because being attached to a tray is totally fine. See, all my friends want a butt just like mine, but now I'm going out for dinner. I need to look like a winner. I'll dress in my best with my bright yellow vest. The dress code, don't worry, I'll crack it. I'll wear my purple and green spotted jacket. Wait, this jacket's not right. This jacket's too tight. It's not a good fit, a jacket and tray. What can I do? What can I say? And then I know exactly what to say. I say, jackets away, let's go and play. Oh, he's doing all kinds of fun stuff. The end. Next up, we have Twyla. We'll said the lovely. You are lovely.
Well, good morning. So, in sticking with the I broke my butt, I have a book called Chicken Cheeks, and it's written by Kevin Hawks, or Michael Ian Black, and illustrated by Kevin Hawks. Well, this is the story with a beginning, the middle, and a whole lot of ends. Chicken Cheeks, the beginning of the ends. Well, here we see Bear standing on a stepladder looking up in this tree. I wonder what he's going after, but he can't seem to reach it. Well, here comes the duck. And the bear thinks, I know, I'll add a duck tail. Oh, and just in case you didn't notice, there's 2 little ants crawling up the bear. And then we're going to add a moose caboose. And the ants are still climbing. I wonder what those ants are up to. And of course, we add chicken cheeks. And there's the ants, yep. And we're going to add a penguin patootie and a polar bear derriere. And the ants are still climbing. And then we're going to add a turkey tushy. I love that word, tushy. It's so cute. If you have a tushy, you have a cute tushy. And then we're going to add a new wazoo. And the ants are still climbing. Oh, there's a little mouse up there. I wonder what he's doing. And of course, we had to add a flamingo fanny. And the ants are still climbing. We're going to add a giraffe back half and a rhinoceros rump. And yes, the ants are still climbing. And then we're going to add a hound dog hiney. And of course, we must have a toucan can. And the ants are still climbing. And of course, we add a kangaroo keister. And how about guinea pig buns? That one's hard to say. Guinea pig buns. And the ants are still climbing. And last but not least, no, maybe not even last, is a deer rear. Of course. And last but not least, duck-billed platypus gluteus maximus with a basket. And there's the ants. Oh, they were going after some honey. And there they are, all piled on top of one another to get to that honey. And what do you think that happens? Well, we might have one more end in the story. A bumblebee bum! Bzzz. And they take after all of those animals. Oh, but the ants are still there. The ends. And there they all go. Except for the ants who are going, hey, we got the honey. I wonder what you call a bottom of an ant. Ant's pants? I don't know. All right, so if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and finish this up with the goodbye song, okay? Clap, clap, clap your hands, clap your hands together. Clap, clap, clap your hands, clap your hands together. Stomp, stomp, stomp your feet together. Stomp, stomp, stomp your feet together. Wave, wave, wave goodbye together. Wave, wave, wave goodbye together. Because that's it for story time today, but we'll see you next time, okay?